Godzilla minus one is fucking incredible.
It's this
It's it
it's
it's like I make a bunch of like big lizard movie jokes, but fucking Christ, that movie's so good.
but it's not just a lizard, it's the story, man.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's such a small movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a small movie, and then there's a fucking Godzilla.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's like there are moments in that movie where I'm like, are you not seeing
The giant
this?
lizard.
Like, how are you not talking about this the entire time? And it's like, oh, because you're dealing with your own shit, but
Yeah.
also, holy
I know. Some
God,
point in
that
the middle of
movie's
Godzilla minus one, every character should be on a psychiatrist's couch.
Yeah,
I
right.
saw this giant lizard. I can't handle it. Basically.
Well, then they go and they get that guy again at the end,
Uh-huh.
and there's that whole scene with the two of them in the plane,
Uh-huh.
and he's just like, yeah, like it'll do this and it'll do this, and there's an ejection seat. There's an ejection seat. Like,
You see what the giveaway was in that?
yeah, it's German.
It's in German, yes.
Yeah, because that came over on a U-boat that they like.
Uh-huh.
That's a whole man. There's a whole thing about how they tried to send a U-boat full of fucking scientists over to Japan, and that got blown up, and all of those scientists went to the fucking bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like it.
Did you ever see? Was it the Toei? That means sorry, the kaiju Frankenstein movies?
No.
Was it Giant Frankenstein? The film starts in a German U-boat where they're transporting these little these cell samples to Japan to be analyzed,
And it's Frankenstein cells.
Yeah, it's Frankenstein cells, and Dr. Frankenstein is, and things happen.
I'm sorry, it's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, but things happen, and the ship sinks, but these giant, huge Frankensteins come out. It's like it's probably the craziest kaiju ever.
That's funny.
I also have to mention the fact that this movie references the 2000 what is it, Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah movie. And like including like in the soundtrack, it's like making reference to this movie that from 2000. So it's like it's referencing the original Gojira, and then it's like, oh, actually, we're also going to reference these other ones because they're the ones the director likes.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
you hear that? You hear Godzilla's theme, the one from the '60s, kind of reads on that. It's like, fuck. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm watching this movie.
I enjoyed it so much.
The moment where it comes up and it gets the boat.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like straight up at the camera, and it's it's got the boat in its mouth. I was just like, fuck yes. Like,
well, there's a couple scenes where like they'll be talking and something happening, and you see like a half a boat fly through the air.
Right.
Crash by. It's like,
it just lands on the beach.
I know, it's like, fuck.
$15 million, yo.
I know, dude. It's nuts.
There's so much out there about how little they spent on the special effects in that movie, and it's just bonkers.
It is.
And it's every special effect looks amazing. Like when it shoots the atomic breath and it blows the boat up.
Yeah.
Like, and then when it finally gets onto land and it does the atomic breath on land, and the
result is a nuclear explosion.
Yes. It was never more explicitly about.
I know. It's like, oh,
Nagasaki.
And also, you can tell that Godzilla himself was not enjoying that. He was an unhappy lizard. He really was.
Yeah. The whole movie, he's just sort of like, why are you making me doing this?
I have indigestion.
I know, poor little bastard. I know, it's messed up.
Also, another thing, after it wakes up and there's that whole scene that's in English of all of the film reels. Like, oh, this boat disappeared and blah, 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 blah. And then it's just tracking him around the map. Like, oh my God, it's so good.
It is.
And the guy who did this made Shin Rider Kamen, which is the fucking bonkerest movie I've ever seen. And I should pick that one day.
Maybe you should.